Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Christine with Patter Crafts, and as I wait for my April 2018 Scrapping for Less Flavor of the Month card kit to arrive, as it was just revealed yesterday, which was Saturday, April 28th. So I should be seeing it sometime in the next week or so. It was revealed on Saturday, so they'll probably start shipping sometime to mid to end of this week. So anyway, I've decided while I'm waiting, I'm going to go back to my January 2018 Flavor of the Month card kit. This is the mix-up video where I take all the 4 individual collections plus the banana split items, because I do subscribe to the banana split level of the card kit, and I kind of put all the elements together and try to see how many more cards I can come up with using all those elements. So let's get into the cards I made this week. So this is the first one. So this is the whale paper that was from that from collection 4, and the My Favorite Things paper. I think this was collection 3. So I decided this whale paper was going to be the focal point of this card, and it was just going to be a simple birthday card. So I did stamp Happy Birthday. That sentiment did come from the Avery Elle stamp that we received. Not 100% sure which collection that was in, but I'll think about it and I'll let you know. It was either the second or the third or the fourth collection. But anyway, if you want to see the unboxing for this kit, I'll put a link in this description along with a link to the original cards I made. So if you're looking for something in particular, you could go to one of those videos, and I have what came in each collection in those 2 videos, because as I said, this one, everything kind of gets mixed up. So the next, I still had more of that whale paper scraps, so I decided to make them into coffee cups. These aren't mugs, these are just cups, like the kind you get for to go. So this die came with the banana split level, so I just cut out some white cardstock and then used it to cut these scraps of the whale paper, and made these 3 coffee cups. Thanks a Latte, that came from the Avery Elle stamp set. I believe it's called Cool Beans. On the inside, just a white mat with the Greeting Farm coffee cup. That's from the Perk Up stamp set. So when I make these cards, guys, I try to stick with the things only found in the kit. I do not, other than regular colored cardstock, my own card bases, and obviously things to color with. I try to stick with all elements from the card kit. So the papers, the pattern paper only from the card kit, the embellishments only from the card kits. Any sentiments or stamps or dies are from the card kit. So for those of you not familiar, that is what I try to do with these videos. This here is the Wake Up and Enjoy Today sentiment from the Greeting Farm stamp set. And I thought it'd be fun to put this pot of coffee that came from the Doodlebug icon sticker sheet. I believe that was the Cream and Sugar. And just had it kind of sitting here on this strip that I had left over. Wake Up and Enjoy Today. And on the inside, just added a little coffee bean sticker from the sticker sheet. I believe the sticker sheet, that might have been from collection 1, maybe 2. I probably shouldn't even say, since I'm not 100% sure. Unfortunately, I don't have the ingredients list with me. So here's the next card. I made another coffee cup using some scraps. This was a scrap in and of itself from the first time around. I made a shaker card, and this is the element that was the negative, so I had that left over, and I simply cut out this black mat with a stitched scalloped circle die and cut out some of the coffee beans that was in the same this die came with coffee beans and a heart, so I cut out some of the coffee beans, colored them with some Spectrum Noir markers, and on the inside I used the this coffee cup ring from Altenew. This stamp was in our banana split level. But the sentiment said Coffee Craft Repeat. I didn't want that sentiment to be in here. So I took the sentiment from the deep red stamp set, and I added a cup of coffee shared with friends is happiness tasted and time well spent. I wanted to use that sentiment instead. Next card here, I did use these scraps. I used the stitched scallop border die to cut each of the pattern papers, and some black mats to go underneath them to kind of give some separation. This is from the Avery Elle stamp set. Thanks a latte, the sentiment, and the coffee cup. They were stamped and then fussy cut out. Then I added 2 little coffee beans here. And on the inside, I added the 2 little images from the Greeting Farm stamp set that we received. This card here, I use these scraps as is. This little scrap here, we belong together, we belong together. So when I looked at all of my items, I had a milk and cookie sticker left in my icon sticker sheet, and what goes better than milk and cookies? So I decided to use that as we belong together. Added these little hearts. And then on the inside, carried over another strip of that pattern paper. This little heart looked like a cookie to me, like a sugar cookie, like a frosted sugar cookie. So I used that in here, and then just this green heart I put up here in the corner. This card here, I loved this paper here, and I had a fairly big scrap of it, but it was kind of like all oddly shapen at the bottom, so I thought it would be fun to just bring in this white and black cardstock using the stitched scallop border die that's kind of rounded. That'd be a great way to use this paper and still showcase as much of it as I could. Used our little image from the Pink and Main stamp set. I'm okay, I have caffeine, and just a couple little sequins up here, or there's 3. There's a few, 3. A couple is 2. And on the inside, I just stamped out some of the coffee. This coffee cup is from this stamp set, and I just stamped it out there 5 times, just to kind of give it a little border at the bottom. Next, it's this Let's Catch Up. This was left over from the original cards, even with the sentiment already on it. Loved this paper. For some reason, I had like just some odd scraps of it. So I put what I had on each side, and then I cut this white paper with the border die because it didn't cover the whole card base. So I thought this would be a fun way to give it some separation, and also a little place to put our Let's Catch Up with these 2 little donut stickers that came on that icon sticker sheet, and there's nothing on the inside. So this card here, again, more little scraps because I was starting to get low on my scraps. So I made the coffee cup. This was a beautiful piece of scrap paper. This was just a long strip, so I thought it would go great here. I had 3 of these, but they're kind of like 2 by 2 squares. So I decided to use this scrap piece right here as well to put in the middle. That's popped up on some foam tape, and so is our little coffee cup is on some foam. And I don't think I didn't do anything on the inside of this one. All right, this little card again, I had some nice size scrap pieces left over along with this little strip says I love you a latte. Originally I had cut out the ones from the Greeting Farm stamp set, but when I put them on, they were just way too small. I wanted them to be significantly bigger, which was great because we had this cup from the Avery Elle stamp set, and it was perfect size. So I'm really happy with putting these little coffee cups up here. And I did use one of the smaller ones I made right here on the inside, just glued that down. Now this paper was from the collection number 4. It had like these little cut aparts. So I did use 4 of them. And then this strip here and this piece here, they're just scrap paper. So I put as many of these little cut aparts as I could on the front and then filled in the blanks with pattern paper from the same collection. Like this, and they were all on the same page, but these are from the same collection, but they were their own page. Just little scraps left over. And on the inside, I added a couple more of those little cut aparts on some white paper. Not sure if I like the inside. I'm thinking maybe I shouldn't have put those in, but I wanted to use them up. So that's that card. And lastly, tried to use up as many little strips as I could. So I glued them down in white, or a colored piece of cardstock, just from scrap cardstock that I had. Glued them all down, and then used a stitched rectangle die to cut them all down. And then added our little lady from the Pink and Maine stamp set. And then on the inside, it's just a white mat. So that is the last card. So those are all the cards that I made using all the leftover bits from this. Again, if you want to see the original 16 cards, the link will be in the description box. But let me show you what I have left over. This is it for paper. This I'll keep, and I will keep some of these other big pieces, but like these little pieces, I know some people use all this stuff. I find it very overwhelming to keep if I haven't used them. Like, I'll keep them while I'm working on the kit, but once the kit's done, if I haven't used them, I'm probably not going to. So these will probably get recycled. But I will keep the bigger pieces. So that's all I have left over for paper. I do have these 2 little images that I did cut out and color. I have a bunch of these images I stamped and cut out, and those will go into a binder. I have a binder where I will mass stamp out and mass cut out images, and sometimes when I'm not feeling too crafty, I'll color them. So and it's just great to have when you're making cards and I don't want to cut everything out or die cut it, it just saves me time. I do have all of these coffee cups that I made with some of the scrap paper. And I know I could have probably made more cards similar to the card I made using the whale paper. But I thought these might be fun to make tags out of. I haven't decided, but they're there. I'll put them aside. I'll probably put them in the same binder as that. This is it for embellishments. I have the paper clips and these other clips. I just don't see how to use these in card making. And I did do some search on some YouTube videos to see if other people were using them. And I didn't find anything, so I'm not sure how others are incorporating these paper clips into their cards. But I do think they're really cute, and I will use them, but I think they'll just come to my office now. I'll use these at work. Because they are super adorable, but I don't see myself using them in this way. I have these 2 donut stickers, and this is it from the icon sticker sheet. So I have this rolling pin and this bag of tea. Not really sure how to use this rolling pin, but these will just go into a little box I have with some leftover stickers. And those are great for like when sometimes I have some little ones that come over and they want to make cards, and it's great to have these types of things in there for them because they think they are the greatest things. And I've used what I'm going to use out of it, so I'm not going to throw them away. So I'll definitely use them for the little card makers in my life. I do have this left over from the banana split level. I will use this. I just didn't find any of the elements that I had left over. I have a vision of what I want to do when the items are not in this kit. And like I said, I try to use the items left over from the kit strictly to make the cards. To add to my stash, I have this Paper Smooches die. Here's the coffee cup die I've been using, and it comes with the beans and the heart. I have the banana split level Altenew. It's the coffee ring stamp set to add to my collection, as well as the deep red stamp set, the Greeting Farm stamp set, the Avery Elle stamp set, and this one here from Pink and Maine. So I have all those to add to my stash of stuff. Now, I also do have this ink. When I used this ink in January, I thought it worked really well. I do not use a lot of colored dye ink, or pigment ink. I just don't use a lot of colored ink, period. I did store it like this with the cap on. It is not dry by any means, but I feel like the color is very, very light and a lot lighter than I remember it. So this week I have been storing it upside down to see if maybe a lot of the ink has, I don't know if fallen to the bottom. It's definitely not dry, but I did store it this way because this cover is really loose. It doesn't snap on or anything. It's very easy to come off, so I didn't want it to. But when I made one of the cards, let's see, is it this one? No, it's this one here. And I stamped out the coffee ring on here. It was not nearly as dark as I would have wanted it. So I did bring in my Memento brown ink to use that. Now, I don't know if it's because I was storing it wrong, or maybe it's not as great as I remember in the last set of cards I made. But, I'll definitely add it to my stash, because I do have, like, kid card maker stuff and then my card maker stuff. So anyway, that's just my thoughts on that ink. I don't think I'm not going to say it's a terrible brand or anything, as I don't really know. I just feel like, I don't know if I stored it wrong. I don't want to say anything bad about it, but because maybe it's just me. Maybe it's not as dark as I thought it should be. But anyway, thank you so much for stopping by and watching. As soon as I get my April card kit, I will definitely do an unboxing video so you can see what I get. I'll probably be a little late putting up the cards made with that kit because it is my wedding anniversary coming up, and my husband and I will be taking a long weekend to go celebrate. It's been 20 years. Hard to believe, but anyway, if you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more, hit the subscribe button. But until next time, bye!